Hey, what's up, everybody? Just doing a quick market update. It's been a little while since I've been on, so kind of just wanted to go over what's going on in the market. We got CPI numbers, and kind of a mild reaction to that, but um, it's a choppy week. Really what I expected coming into the week. We've traded really just between what's that, 44. We'll call it 44.75 to just shy of 4,600. So we tried a couple times and failed. So there's not much going on. So if you're bored, that's okay. Um, bored is okay. Trades will come eventually. I'm in one trade. I'm actually in two. I'm in a lotto. I don't really count that as a trade, but I've been in a JPM swing. It's a long swing for 3 days now. I'll bring that over. So, you know, 170 calls expiring April 14th, filled at $1. Um, and the thought process behind that was, if rates are going to go up, they're going to go up, and we'll find out soon enough. So contracts were at a buck. They're sitting at 100% now, so we're sitting nice on those with a lot of time left. And I figure if rates are going to go up, then banks will have to go up as well because they stand to profit from them. So I'm also in a lotto, Tesla 1000 lotto call with Dan. He called that out in the community. I was walking the dog and I said, why not? It's worth a shot because if Tesla can get above 960 here, I think we can fly up to 10, 50, 1100. We get those big impulsive days. It just tends to never happen when we want it to happen. So that's why it's a lotto. It'll either be worth something or absolutely nothing. I'm not going to cut it. So we'll just see what happens. But let's take a look at the indices. You can see SPX is struggling to get over 4,600. We'll look at the hourly. We're trading just above the ADMA, but again, we can't break through this 4,600 level. Maybe it comes tomorrow, or maybe we just continue to chop around. But there really isn't much action, nothing to really go off of. Maybe individual names have something, but I haven't seen many of anything, and I'll go through a bunch more than normal of the individual tickers. So NQ, same thing. We're trading under the ADMA. Yesterday was a good day if you were into scalping or just day trading, and you kind of just made higher highs and higher lows. On the hourly, just riding it up the ADMA, and probably should have been out when it lost the ADMA. So JPM, that's the swing that we're in. Eventually, want to go for the gap fill. We filled the original or the first gap. Got in there nice. Like I said, we got in there 3 days ago. I think somewhere around here, 155 or something like that, and should make its way up to at least to start to fill the gap 160. That's what I'm looking at. Apple's just excuse me. Apple's just chopping around in no man's land. You can call it a bull flag. I'd call it consolidation before I call it a bull flag, really. So it's more chop. I think if we can't get above 180 next week, we could potentially just come back to the golden pocket. There's only so much chop that names can take before a move has to be made. Let's see where the VIX is at too. VIX is hovering around 20. Last week we were at 30, so we're not going to get big moves that pay us what we want without volatility. So with the VIX down at 20, it's good for entries, long swings like JPM, because when volatility ramps up, those contracts become more valuable. So again, Tesla trading in a range also, but I think it's really just chipping away at this supply zone right here. We've handful of touches here. This is why I have this line drawn out here around 960, because if we can get above it and really break with volume, there's no volume here right now. If we can break with volume, we can at least test the upper trend line at 1,000, and then we'll squeeze from there, because the shorts will come in and pile on, and they'll get squeezed to death. So 1,000 is 960 is the first target, 1,000 is the second, 1160, 1170 ultimately is somewhere we can go. Facebook, trading right at the ADMA. It's a really ugly name, not something I would play at all right now. 940, 945, 245 is somewhere that it has to get back to slowly, or it can just trade right back down to 200, where it came from earlier this week was at 915. So that's pretty scary. Amazon also not doing anything, more chop. At least it's trading above the resistance from before. So this was prior resistance here, sold off really harshly. Hopefully acting as support again, because if Amazon slips, the whole market slips. So we're kind of looking for something like this here to happen on Amazon. You know, higher highs, higher lows, maybe right into resistance again before chopping. But we'd like to see some type of upward momentum, big volume coming in. I got Tesla up here twice. NVIDIA. So chips have done decent. I've done well, actually. SPY, I can delete. Disney, still just chopping around. Nothing to look at on Disney. And, you know, these are the individual names that, you know, I don't know how you can play unless you're just scalping, you know, very quick trades in and out. PayPal, not much here, trading under the ADMA on the 15. So if you were day trading this, what you would look for is, let's drop to the 5 minute. So you're above the ADMA, that's great. You got a double bottom here. You got your first bar closed above the ADMA. If this one closes above as well, you have some confidence to, you know, play and hope that the algos, maybe not hope, but if you're looking for volume, then you know the algos are coming in, which it looks like, you know, is getting bought up here now. So you got, you know, higher highs, higher lows, and just a nice uptrend here on PayPal on the 5 minute. So if this is something you were watching and got in, you know, down here at, you know, 122 or time this right, you can make some good money. Square, fintech. I mean, look at this on the daily. You know, I don't even know how this is playable. Just a really ugly chart. It's first day above the ADMA, so if it closes here, you can maybe put it on the watch list. It has earnings coming up, big, you know, but you know, PayPal didn't do too well, so not sure what Square has left in it. Zoom got a nice pattern here. It's typical that, you know, this just ping pongs. It does something like this before breaking up or down. But you know, if you're into, you know, day trades, you can probably take a short here, play the lower trend line, get, you know, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 bounces here. So, you know, these are low risk trades. You can wait for a break of the 8 EMA right here on Zoom. So if you get a break of this, you can almost, it's not a guarantee because nothing's a guarantee, but if you lose the hourly 8 EMA, you can go ahead and take a short position, you know, maybe down to 135 or something, maybe 138. Let's look at let's see what those are worth. Zoom. So right now it's Thursday, 5 minutes before 9 on the West Coast. If you were to take next week's 135s, they're trading at $1.37. That's 135. 138 or 182. Heck, you can even take 143s. 143s or 305. So, you know, there's the risk to reward is there if it loses the ADMA. You got a big upper wick, double top. You lose the ADMA, you can probably go ahead and take something to retrace back down to the lower trend line. So that's actually something that I'm going to watch. I'm going to set an alert now, actually. And a break of the ADMA, I'll get alerted. And Roku. Roku's in a downtrend. I mean, just a really ugly daily. Something to look for here is volume coming in. You got earnings coming up as well on 17th. A break of this channel, and you can probably get some on good volume. You can probably get a nice trade out of this. That didn't take long, did it? Let's see. Nah, I just touched it. Okay. So Roku and Zoom are probably on top watch for me if I'm going to trade anything, just because there is something here. On Roku, I'd look for big volume coming in, a break of the channel, We got a nice, 2 days above the ADMA, nice rounded bottom here. So that's something I'm watching heading into earnings for next week. The Zoom, I'm looking for a short entry if it loses the ADMA. Square is unplayable. PayPal's probably unplayable too. Maybe it depends on what Square does next week. It can redeem itself. And Tesla. Those are really the only things I'm watching in this market. It's pretty slow. What you do have to look forward to is one day we'll get a break. One day Square will not be in this massive downtrend. PayPal will recover. A lot of names are going to run up if you have some patience and you can wait for it. So if you stay patient, you stay solvent, you can make a ton of money. It's one of those markets where it's going to test your patience. So those are the two I'm watching. If I see anything else, I'll call them out, and maybe we'll get a live tomorrow. But it's just there's been no action, so it's not worth even hopping on. So if you guys have any ticker requests, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and I'll review those next time I'm on. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. If you guys found this of value, and I will see you guys soon.